And the volume's all the way up. I'm going to turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'll let you control the volume. And basically I'll close my eyes because he'll control it. He'll be like, then you know. Alright, so what we're going to do is just take a moment to experience what we're going to talk about.
We listened to The Little Mermaid.
Please avoid blowing your nose.
Oh, during the office, maybe.
Who would do that?
Who would honk their nose during the office? How appropriate is that?
Now, let's see. I'm going to play actually my favorite part, but if you play my favorite part, you won't like it.
We listen to Victoria.
Victoria Justice.
Magnum Mysterium. Misa
Class is
Magnum
starting.
Mysterium.
Class is starting. Just close your eyes. It takes 10 minutes.
Oh my god. It's Jurassic Park.
This is all part of my pedagogical style.
Are you taking a nap?
I'm praying. The words she's singing are, help me, Mary most chaste, protect me. And then she starts the Hail Mary in Polish. They were words that were written on the inside of the Gestapo prison cell in Krakow by an 18-year-old girl
I've heard this song.
who was being tortured.
Oh, goodness.
He's in charge of the volume. I'm checking out. I'm going somewhere else.
Is the volume okay?
Whatever.
It's great.
love to hear some of your thoughts. I know it's a totally open question because I just want to see what comes out. It's on purpose that we're going to talk about it.
I mean, I think music for me is like the way that I feel like people's emotions. So like a lot of people like listening to that, like like the beginning is very ominous sounding and stuff. But, like in my head, I'm just like imagining what it would be like being an 18-year-old girl and like the things that they did and trying to find hope in that.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry about what I'm writing. I'm picking out words and just writing down keywords I'm listening for.
So I mean, I just am like visualizing in my head like what that would have been like and what she must have been feeling.
I love music, but I don't really know much about it. So I don't really know how to describe it, but I definitely feel the emotion in it. And I think it was awesome to get kind of a little background before, because I wanted to see if I could hear that in it. I don't know if I generally did, but it was awesome.
Well, why did you say it's awesome?
I don't know. She just has a really good voice. And I like the background.
So it's awesome because you liked it.
Yeah.
If you're able to say why you liked it, what do you like about that? It's okay. There's no right answer.
No, I know there's not. I don't know how to describe. I mean, like I said, I don't know how to describe music. I don't know if it's. I think I like her voice.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Green, what do you think after that?
I agree, a lot of emotion, a lot of variation and sensitivity in the changes. As far as, there was one point where it seemed like there was a break, almost as if like she hit her max and maybe that's, I don't know, she found hope in that, but she was just very low for a while. It was going down and down and then it went up. I agree that music is probably conveys emotion, the human emotion the best. Of any kind of art form.
Father Francis, what are your thoughts?
So it's powerful, has an intensity, builds, there's a kind of drive, but it's subtle. Wonder what this sort of throbbing sound represents. What's underneath? What is that throbbing that's underneath? It's almost like a very slow heartbeat, or breathing. Something like this slow, deliberate breathing.
It's funny, even in just not understanding the words, but just the brief history of the song that you gave us, I feel like I could also kind of put myself in what that girl was experiencing.
Yeah, I felt like it was like fear and pain, and then kind of goes into like
A cry for
hope
help.
hope at the end. Do you have the words?
Yeah. It's very brief. It's Mary, most chaste mother, be near me, help, and then Ave Maria. So it's something like that. If you want the exact words, it's easy to find some people. It's a very famous piece. It was performed for the first time in 1976 in Krakow. And we were actually at the spot where it was performed. Did you know that? Franciscan church, Franciscaner church. Remember right across from where the bishop's place was, with the statue? It was performed in there, I didn't know that. And it was at the 50th anniversary, so was that the 50 or 41st, or the 40th anniversary things about the end of World War II in Poland. And he's a Polish composer, and so he wrote it for that occasion. And they did something on the stage where they turned off all the lights gradually, so that at the end of the first movement, that's the second movement, there's three movements. The first one is all just a cello, and it's one cello bass. And he plays it as low as he possibly can, and then it builds. It takes 21 minutes. And it builds all the way until the entire symphony's doing it. The highest thing is going, and then the singer sings, and then he does the exact thing in reverse, all the way from the top, and then they just start knocking off instruments. And as they knocked off instruments, he turned off lights. So at the end, there's just one bassist on the stage with a spotlight on him. And it's like, then I think at the end of the performance, they did something also where they had all the lights off, and you only saw the stained glass window lit up. So we kind of combined visual and musical. I just wrote down key words out of context, but at the same time, you see kind of a lot of different things. Here we have hope, emotions, emotion, right? Sensitivity, feeling. I guess you could put sensitivity. It's very interesting because if you see all this, you could ask, what's the value of all of this? Is there a value? What are your thoughts? I didn't ask you to criticize it. Some were more critique of the music. Some were more about music in general. That's fine. But it's interesting that these words all came out kind of spontaneously from us. And if we were to ask ourselves, is there a value in all of this? I think there's certain waves in our modern culture that would say no. They would say that this is all personal, this is all subjective, this is all feeling. If we push them, they'd probably say it's all feminine. I think because there's a real link between, and they would say that, but I'm not going to put that link. But if you go to other cultures before it was not PC and you could lose your job for saying that, they would say this, kind of like the yin and the yang, where the black is the feminine. We've got a little yin yang side. I'm a girl, I'm feminist with the yin yang side. It's like, you're totally foolish. So personal, subjective, feeling, emotion, connectivity, community. And say this value doesn't really belong in the marketplace because these things you can't quantify. These are all quality driven. You can't quantify that. How does someone feel when they walk into your pub? Well, the people who say that doesn't matter are completely idiots. Because in a pub, isn't there the smallest bar in the world is in San Francisco, and they make a fortune off of it. Smallest bar in the world because it's always packed. I think the bar itself seats something like 4, but everyone wants to go there. Even I know that the smallest bar in the world is a place to go to in San Francisco because the feeling. Cheers. I want to go where everyone knows your name. You could go to a Cooker's where you get the same type of glass as everybody else, the same booth, the same experience, standardized. No one wants to go to Cooker's. Who's like, yeah, we're going to Cooker's. I love it there. I go to Cooker's every day. You don't. I actually try to avoid Applebee's, because you're like, Applebee's? It's like when we went to Chile, and I was in Chile, next to Argentina. I say it wrong, Chile, the Ohioans say. And we were down there, and I'll be darned, there's Applebee's, Cooker's, Texas Roadhouse, right there in Santiago, Chile, and all the Americans were going to them. And you could say, wow, what a disappointment on the one hand, and on the other hand, it doesn't really matter. But if if you ignore these feelings, Vincenzo, your bar will probably fail. I would like to say that many people say this type of thing is really secondary to business, and I'd like to say for an evangelizer, it's primary. Why? Because all of this type of stuff is the stuff of the human heart. Our society, for a while, I think, Western civilization experimented with a pure scientific, mathematically driven model. But I think as I watch and listen to people talk today, we're seeing more and more that this is actually where the money is from a business point of view. For an evangelizer point of view, because right, if I can sell grandma's cooking, we're like, wow, it's even better. There's all the type of buy-in people do. They like Juicy Juice on Facebook. Okay, they use that example because one of our Eagle Eye alumna, her name is Liz Soroki. She is Juicy Juice on Facebook. I'm going to turn on the fan. She is Juicy Juice. So Juicy Juice is a person on Facebook, and it's actually run by a team of 8 young adults. And the head of that team is Liz Soroki, who's an Eagle Eye Summer Institute graduate. So she explained what that means. She said, what we try to do is every day Juicy Juice posts something on Facebook. I'll post my opinion about my favorite cookies. I'll post whether or not you like. So people are interacting with Juicy Juice as if it was a product. And they do that, they stay involved because Juicy Juice will throw out random sales, random opportunities. But actually those sales and opportunities are only there so that every day you're seeing what Juicy Juice, and she's creating a culture where people can interact on Facebook with a Juicy Juice worldview, a Juicy Juice culture, and it's all a complete game. We're doing it to sell Juicy Juice. We don't care about these people, but the people buy into it as if they care. So they have talks about what will Juicy Juice culture, is it a joyful culture, is it a sad culture, is it this or that? They're creating that because that human heart is actually, what drives us. Simon Sinek has a whole talk, and you've heard this, right? Right? He said, start with why. We're going to watch this. You're going to hear about tons of stuff. If you want on your own, everything I've ever heard him do, I love. Except, even then, his talk at the Democratic National Convention, Speaker Obama. But even his talk was awesome because he's like, what we're doing here is creating more than a man. We're creating a movement. People aren't going to vote for Obama. They're going to vote for the energy, the movement that he represents, which is exactly what happened. He won the Nobel Peace Prize, the only man in history to win the Nobel Peace Prize without doing anything. He won it, and they said, we're giving it to you for what you will do. Do you guys know that? Yeah, it was at the beginning of his presidency. He flew over, and then he gave a talk on Nobel Peace Prize. His talk was on why war is necessary and why nations have to resort to war. People don't even care. Bush would have done that, could you imagine? Yeah, he won the Nobel Peace Prize talking about war for something that he hadn't done but what he will do. Because Obama was a symbol. That wanted the human heart. Well, so Simon Sinek talks about this. As an evangelizer, though, this is absolutely critical. Because what we're doing is taking the human heart opens the listener to the Word of God as a personal, I would say, to get rid of that word and show you the power of what I mean when I say that word, a personally transformative truth. In other words, you move from talking about Jesus to meeting Him. How? When you go and you get your mind to open to the fact that it's a whole life. That waking up of the human heart is the key to saving your listeners. Why is it that our society could have a church right next door to it, and yet if we took a poll, the vast majority of the people in this neighborhood never have gone to this church? Or they go once a year. How could you live next to an organization dedicated to evangelization without ever being evangelized? Most of the time, because if we try to tell them about Jesus, they'll say, dang, whatever. You're like with the guys walking around the original witnesses. And you're like, how do I get beyond that? I've heard it before, Father. I don't agree. I told you about the guy. He's dying right now. I'm praying for him. He's had a bad month. He might be dead in a month. Right? Not baptized, not Catholic, married to a very devout woman. I said to him, how are you with the Lord? Because he told me I'm going to die. I got cancer. How are you with the Lord? I said, well, Father, you know, they say there are no atheists in foxholes. But I'm not in the foxhole yet. What a stupid thing to say. You're going to put off God for another month. You got one more month to live, and you're going to live it without God. Why? Because he probably was hurt as a boy. Probably got confused. Somehow his heart closed. Same thing with Rudolf Hess. Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah.
You're the one that read the book. 12 years old, priest, he thinks the priest betrayed him in confession. He said, I never trusted another human being ever since. Closed his heart and became a convert to Auschwitz. What opened his heart? It wasn't the catechism, it wasn't doctrine. It was the Menschlichkeit, the humanity of the Polish guards. He said, the first time in my life I've been treated with humanity. Heart. What does he do? Summons a priest, goes to confession, claims his faith, and dies a Roman Catholic, having received communion and absolution for his sins. What was the key? His heart. At SJI, we want to emphasize beauty because this quest after the human heart is the ultimate goal of everything that we do. This is, we're running a business. It's so that there be heart. Imagine what SJI would be like if Father Francis Therese didn't persecute me at every moment. Imagine what it would be like if I didn't persecute him at every opportunity. It would be boring. Stupid. And what would we do? We would all withdraw and be like, yeah, I'm checking in, I'm getting what I want out of it, and I don't give anything to it except politeness, and I check back out to my room, and I'm in this to get my MBA. I would love to create, and I think we're actually doing it, I'd love to create a culture where it's not even about the MBA, where it's about us. It's about Regina, and Bree, and Father, and Father, and Father, and Brother, and Katie, and we're like, yeah, we're at SJI, and we're getting an MBA. Instead of, we're getting an MBA so we went to SJI. You know what I mean? Like, that will be success. Why? Because then what we're transforming you with is this truth that your whole being is part of. This is the SJI difference. Okay. So to do that, we want to give you a formation in art and beauty. So, first point in all this was to show you value. The value of the art and the beauty that we're talking about is it touches the heart. And you can ask, where does heart have value? What Simon Sinek talks about, and he didn't invent it. As a matter of fact, I kind of think he read it 5 minutes before his speech, because he's not talking about brain science and brain chemistry. He doesn't have a clue. He just heard this stuff. But he says it, so it's a nice little source. But he talks about how the limbic, so you should see how much I know. And then you're like, Father Nathan said, never trust what you hear speakers talk about. We just get it from people who actually know. Speakers rely on scholars, so listen to the scholars. But anyway, the limbic system, if you're asking anything more about that, I wouldn't be able to tell you. It's kind of like whenever you see someone write in Greek on a board, with the brother of St. John, he doesn't know it. You'll know, here's how you know if someone actually knows Greek, if they put the accent marks on it. If you see someone write Greek, if I was like, it's the pros. You're like, false. Where's the accent mark? He doesn't know what he's talking about. And then it's something like, look. Because there's this accent, and then there's this accent. Curved. And there's whatever, see what I mean? I don't know what I'm talking about. But Brother Meerschaum might know a little Greek on the side. Not totally. But limbic system. I'm saying this, so you don't think. Simon Sinek says this limbic system is basically what controls the emotions. It makes up, do you remember the percentage? It makes up like 90% of the brain. And it's located at the center. So the outside is the cerebral cortex, which is where we do all our rational stuff. But the inside is the limbic system. And this is what drives our motivation. So if you're like, why did you buy the Snickers? You're not even hungry. Well, you were driven by things you didn't even know about. There were like this deep emotive links of Snickers symbolizing my dad and me missing my dad, so I buy Snickers. So in advertising, they try to create your connections with your limbic systems, like cotton is always like a patriotic thing. The touch, the feel of cotton, the fabric of our lives, and it's a wedding. Remember in that commercial? They're setting the table at a wedding. Cotton, wedding, what? What? But that's it. So now when I see cotton sheets, I think wedding, and it was like a vintage kind of filter on it. So I'm like gonna buy cotton because that's like family. It's my roots. It's who I am. It's my identity. It's really silly, but this Simon was saying talks about this in terms of marketing. Well, that limbic system is still in motion when someone walks into SJI. When a potential donor walks into SJI, when Darren walks into SJI, his limbic system is going to be present. Everyone is. Your brain functions on subliminal feel. Some people are more that way, and some people are less that way. So I think of it like of a horse. Some people are, it's amazing. You're like, I didn't do anything. The person's like, and then you're like, what's the matter? I don't even know. Like, they do know, but they don't know. It's like, you know, they just have this like feel to them. They just like, this is wrong or this is right. I'm not always very in touch with my limbic. My limbic system isn't really always functioning fully. I get lost in various places. Don't really know what's going on. But if you are, like Vincenzo, I think you're really good at this. You read people. Father Francis is excellent at it. He can meet you, he can meet me. He does this to me all the time. And like, he just knows. Kathy Kimar is the best I've ever seen. I could give her a person and she could figure out what makes that person tick, how to motivate them, and how to help them move forward in their life within probably 15 minutes. She just doesn't even think about it. She's there. Beauty speaks to that. So when I speak of beauty, I'm going to differentiate it from art. Okay? Art is the ability to produce it. Yep. It's not exact definition, it's Beauty Introduction. With ease, every time, basically, most of the time, and with pleasure. So when I construct the sentence with perfection, and if I could do that at will, I'd be a poet. Oh my gosh, he's a total poet. Give him a mess of words. Eminem, total poet. Remember there was an interview, maybe we'll watch it in one of our classes, where Eminem he goes, people think, for example, they're hard words. So I think about how I can make hard words rhyme, like orange. And then in like 10 seconds, he rhymes 5 words with orange. And he rhymes them in like by twisting things like garage, door hinge is one of them, to rhyme with orange. And you're just kind of like, the guy's a master. You don't know what I'm talking about? Go watch it. It's an interview on 60 Minutes with Eminem.
But orange was like the word in the English language that nothing rhymes.
It doesn't actually rhyme. Yeah.
But
like you said,
but he
that's what's so great.
Yeah.
In 10 seconds, and just sitting there spontaneously, he's like, well, orange, ba, 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 ba. And you're left, like, the interviewer's like, and everyone, you're just amazed by it. That's an artist. Give him a word, and he will work with it and produce something that's wonderful. But this is the production end. There's more to beauty than just production. There's also appreciation. What we're going to find, what I like to propose, is that this appreciation, it goes in different directions. Actually, 5 of them, based upon your 5 senses. What are the 5 senses?
Touch.
3?
Feel.
No.
Oh,
feel.
sorry. Taste.
Taste.
Here.
Sight. Smell.
Okay. every one of us is going to be sensitive to a different degree. And I think some of us are more attentive to some of these than others. If you ever met a person who's attentive to smell, it's always off-putting. One lady, remember who it was? You know her, in Laredo. She's a family that Hinojosa's, Patty Hinojosa. This lady actually told me, I can smell what's going on upstairs. How she was exaggerating, because like she's downstairs, but she was like, smell like, I don't know why, but I can smell everything. I'm sitting there in front of her like, like really? Everything? Like, I can't even go upstairs? She can smell me? Like, wow. Well, when you go into her house, there's always stuff burning. Vanilla candles, apple candles. And she has to do something to survive. She's that sensitive to smell. As you meet different people, you'll meet different ones. What I'm saying is, most of the time, the arts of America are focused here. So if you're not attentive to sight, you would never know why that bookshelf drives me crazy. So you just be like, what is the big deal? And I'm like, how can I get rid of it? And I know I can't. So I'm just keep on, that's why there's no decoration. I can't figure out what I'm going to do with this. But if we could take these two things off, boom, this whole room would be opened up. We could do something amazing right there. And we can't. So what am I going to do? Am I tortured by this space, which was designed by people who evidently had very little attentiveness to sight? I, for example, am extremely attentive to sight. This is my beauty I learned to appreciate, but I'm not as attentive to hearing. Whereas Maestro couldn't care less about the bookshelves. But when I hit that board, I thought we drove him crazy. Each one of us is attentive in different things. Our appreciation is going to be to learn how to use our sensitivity to dispose people to, I would say the truth, right? But in my mind, what I mean by truth and human difference, I'm not going to use that word. So I'm using the more evocative phrase. Hope. To like joy. To like God. And if we're intelligent, we'll incorporate. We'll know. Like, for me, taste, I'm not really refined. Don't have a refined palate. We saw that. He gave me the best beer in the world. It was voted American, what was it?
It was the best of IPA in the world.
He gave us a can of it on the trail, sitting around a campfire.
I didn't appreciate it as much as I did on that.
I handed it away. I couldn't even hand it.
Maybe you were right.
Maybe.
It was old.
But when you use that sensitivity to taste and that refined palate, you can help people who are having a terrible day and terrible life to like say, you know what, there is something I enjoy, a moment of rest in my life. The moment where my heart is open, that's when I drink that, when I taste that. Alright, so you got the production of it and you have the appreciation of it. We're not going to focus at all, well, a little bit, on the production of it, so I'll say where we're going to focus on the production of it. It's in things like attentiveness to cleanliness. It's really simple. I don't mean personal hygiene, attentive to cleanliness in the sense of like, Regina swept the floor in the dining room. We should do that after every day. End of every day, after dinner, we sweep the floor. Why? Because things should be kept clean. Attentiveness, organization in this place. We haven't gotten there yet, but like, we're not going to have clutter laying around. It's very disruptive to the eye. It disrupts the peace of soul for those who come in here. Attentiveness is a table cleanliness. We eat on it, and there's spaghetti sauce. Then we invite, Paul to sit down. He's got spaghetti sauce crusted on the table. What is that? That's sloppy living. It's not SJI. It doesn't take much. It takes just a little bit. But that little bit, we need to get as a daily discipline. It's like I'm ashamed that I didn't shave. I'm ashamed because my life is not put together yet. But I'm ashamed by that because a man should be shaved. It's like it's part of our personal hygiene. You shouldn't be smelling. You shouldn't should be. You know, I know this stuff. Well, that's an effort I'm gonna make. Because like, there's just a time where you're no longer a kid. Where you're like, you're not shaving and it's your fault. That's what we need. That we're gonna be attentive to. Attentiveness to cleanliness and attentiveness, I was gonna put to propriety. It's kind of the same exact words. What I mean by that is when we set the table, let's have the knives turned inward correctly. If we don't know how to set a table, we look it up on YouTube. Father, we want our table set properly. Where does the cup go? Where does the knife go? We don't have to be crazy about it, but it doesn't take much. It's a little touch of saying, we live with class here. Even with paper napkins. We live with class. We don't just throw them on the plate. We put them on the plate intentionally so that the table looks intelligent, looks good. The bathroom, if it starts to overflow, which it was yesterday, all I did is put my foot, and you touch it, my foot on that thing, I pressed down. Whoa, it all compacted. That's all I had to do. Because I'm like, I can't have our bathroom overflowing in garbage. Propriety, that things be done correctly. If the sink is dirty, we wipe it off. We don't have a janitor, it's us. Very, very basic stuff. It's very important, and I'm sure Father Francis will emphasize all this with you as we go. Okay, but we're going to have that's part of your formation. It really is. It doesn't sound like much, but it's part of that, like, healthy, correct living. And I do not hold myself to be an example. I need to be. I'm working on it too, and that's what's crazy. I'm going to be exposed for the whole world to see. I am open to receiving correction there. Correction's going to be too strong. Suggestion. Like, hey, let's probably tidy things up. I'm open to that because I'm human too, and we're living this experience together. But at least I know it's part of me that I'm bothered when I'm not shaving. That's the first step. So, this is the basics. Appreciation. All right, so this is where we can focus. And this requires education. Some people are born, I was born musically appreciative. Music, when I listen to it, it's like I understand it. It's really weird. It's like it's the place where I know, I connect. I was born that way. Some of us are born with those, some of us have to learn. I learned how to appreciate painting. I remember they did those crazy, like, moms would show up from the art museum, because in grade school, once a month, a mom would come and she'd have a painting, and then she would teach us how to appreciate it. You guys ever have these things happen? It's really cool. The art museum does it for free. They might even do it for free here. So that schools could have, they give the mom a guide, I'm sure, explain what it is. But we would look at a painting, and then she would say, now what's happening in the painting? And we'd say, and she'd say, what do you see? Oh, look over here. This person's smiling while this person's frowning. What do you suppose that means? And then she would teach us about how to appreciate the color and the lighting. Where's the light coming from? Basic kind of like questions that with time taught me, that was the basics. But then I've been exposed to different things that have expanded. If we asked Vincenzo how to taste beer, which I hope we will do, because it's something to do with Father Francis, like, I want you to do that kind of stuff, where you teach us, like actually teach us. We did a wine tasting in France. I had no idea. Bjorn was 28 years old. I had no idea how to drink wine. But they taught us. You take the wine, you move it up, grab it in your hand like this rope wands. Move it around the glass so you see its color. You hold it up to the light so you see its color. And while you're moving it, you're releasing all of the smells in it.